Okay, Aman, that's as far as the Prime Minister's anticipated message is concerned. But how does the Indian community there, the diaspora in United States, view the India growth story? What have they been able to make of India under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi? Have they been able to share some of those views with you?
Yes, of course. We were at times where I remember a couple of days back speaking to some Indians there. And, everybody does hear these tales of India's growth story from their relatives back in India. So I remember a family telling me that, this whole Swachh Bharat mission, the whole toilets mission, the whole mission to get drinking water to every household. One gentleman I remember told me that, his village in UP did not used to get electricity, but now he gets 24 hours electricity in the last 7 to 8 years. This has happened. So I think there's a sense of in US as well amongst Indian Americans that India is progressing for the good. There is development happening, and that is why I think people are voting in Mr. Modi again and again as the Prime Minister. This is his third term, and also many people speak about the energy of the man. We were yesterday in Delaware. There's a packed schedule for 3 days. He comes here, doesn't have a minute to waste, the Prime Minister, going from one event to other. Today also, after this particular event for the Indian diaspora, the Prime Minister will be holding a CEO's roundtable later today evening in New York. Tomorrow he's at the Summit of the Future at the UNGA for a very important address. There are bilateral meetings lined up of the Prime Minister with a host of world leaders. So obviously the Prime Minister catches a very packed schedule. The people here who are performing also, in a way, realize that energy which is coming from the Prime Minister, I think, and that is why it explains their big performances which have been prepared. And Indian Americans also, I think, are impressed with the growth story of India. Of course, some of them said that, a lot more should be done for the safety of women, example. The RT car incident, I remember a young girl from India talking to me about it, that, much more needs to be done for safety of women in India. But largely, people feel that India is at least on the right track in the days to come, and it is progressing well under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and they will be keenly awaiting what he has to say about an India growth story today when he speaks to the diaspora here in Long Island, New York.
Aman, one is, of course, the realistic aspect of things that the Indian community there is looking forward to. They want to hear more about the India story. They want to hear more about the vision that the Prime Minister has for the country. The other is, of course, the sentiments attached to it. There is an emotional aspect of it that, we clearly are witnessing as far as the voices that you're bringing to us are concerned. Many of them say that the manner in which the Prime Minister connects with them through these speeches, through these addresses, small little gestures, makes them feel close to home. Is that something that you've sensed so far?
Well, absolutely. There is no, I think, challenge to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's oratory. He's a master orator, and when he speaks, actually, he gets that, connect with the people instantly. He knows what to say, which will make the audience involved with his speech. He loves to interact like that. He'll speak a few lines and then let the audience repeat the message. Mr. Modi is a master at that, and I think it's really in his elements when he comes to these diaspora events, because he addresses the Indian audience very much at home, but when he comes here, he wants to showcase how Indians have come abroad, especially to United States of America, and became a success story in themselves. They have worked very, very hard. I remember one of his speeches earlier, I think the San Jose event, when he had said that, Indians who come here have made a success story of themselves. They work very, very hard. They pay their taxes, they follow the laws, and then they contribute to the US economy. It is not as if Indians are not contributing to the US economy. They have a big, big contribution towards everybody. And that is why I think, and you can see these colorful children coming here, teenagers coming here, who will be performing for the Prime Minister. The entire views of India, at the Dhol Tacha group, the group from here, the young girls who are doing dancing here, it's also an assembly, I would say, a complete depiction of the Bharat feeling. The flavor of Bharat is going to be displayed, and this is also a big message, because such community events of Narendra Modi are very keenly watched by other world leaders also. I remember Joe Biden saying when he came to India that, when Mr. Modi had to go to the US, before that, Mr. Joe Biden came to India and saying, Mr. Modi, you're a superstar. You get such big crowds for a, we heard that even in the US presidential campaigns, nobody can get a crowd of like 15,000-20,000 people in one room. But Mr. Modi has that instant connect. And when he comes here, you see this scramble for tickets and for registration to try and attend an event of the Prime Minister and to listen to him.
Oh yes, who can tell, this is not Bharat Mandapam in Delhi, but in fact Long Island, New York.